We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early. The game progresses.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. That one goes for 24 yards.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. A first down throw for Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Bud Dupree able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. A give to Elliott. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. On third down, it's Prescott. Dancing to his left. And an alley to run. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's fourth. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Good. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it's a second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Prescott now on second down, eluding the pressure right. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. With 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 19.
26.
From the red zone now, Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Gun. Here we go, 46.
Second down, Prescott. This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 30. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Throwing here, Dobbs. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Randy Gregory in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football,
You're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. This will be fielded at the 17. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
The 8-5 Dallas Cowboys return their offense to the field here, and they won last week to get to 8-5 over Philly. In that game, they had 576 yards of total offense, so you would think maybe some more points because that's the most yards of offense they've had since 1978.
It is absolutely amazing because you think with that much offense, you're scoring in the 40s.
Yeah.
But instead, it was a defensive battle, found a way to win in overtime. And how about the Amari Cooper trade? Now, let me just say, on the record, I didn't think giving up a 1 was a good move for Dallas. The way it's paying off, it's an excellent move for Dallas. 10 catches, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner off a deflected ball in overtime. He has been sensational for them in recent weeks.
He has, although that deflected game winner that you speak of, a little lucky for Dak and company.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he finds Beasley complete. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. A Dallas 1st down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley. Prescott on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But before the game, you and I were looking at some of the highlights from last week, and one of the top plays was certainly that 99-yard touchdown run by Derrick Henry.
Not only was it a top play, it's going to be memorable, and again, not just for 99 yards, which is enough of a reason to remember it, but it's the way he got it done. I mean, how about him knocking over people, stiff-arming people? I mean, it was an incredible, strong run. Tony Dorsett, who actually held the record before Derrick Henry, he hit him up. A little congratulations. What a play.
Yeah, those are the only 2 guys to have a 99-yard touchdown run. Incidentally, both of them Heisman Trophy winners as well.
And a friend of ours on social media, he sent out a post that said, and with that run, Derrick Henry locks up his 2nd Heisman Trophy.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Football switches hands back to Pittsburgh, and speaking of the Steelers, that loss last week to Oakland did them no favors. A very surprising defeat, but they had a chance, if they had won that game, to put a little separation between them and Baltimore.
And we all expected that going in, didn't we? They were favored going to Oakland to win against a Raiders team that had won 2 games prior to that one. You knew Baltimore was going to have a struggle in Kansas City. We probably thought that they would lose, and they did in overtime. That would give them a much better cushion, but they didn't play that well. Roethlisberger hurt, came back late. James Conner doesn't play with the ankle injury. They've got to get right, though, because they've got the New England Patriots coming to town.
And then after New England, they go to New Orleans before finishing back home with Cincinnati.
On 1st and 10, Dobbs toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, one thing neat going on around the NFL again recently this year, we've seen this before, but the My Cause, My Cleats, just a chance for the players to give back to a certain charity that they like and dress up their shoes how they want. I know you saw that a couple weeks ago in your game.
I certainly did. I had the Giants and the Bears, and during this time frame, each team is allowed to designate one home game for My Cause, My Cleats, and that was the Giants' home game. They designated it. And Alec Ogletree had a big game. I mean, he had a pick-6 for a touchdown, a bunch of tackles, and his cleats were for autism awareness. What a perfect time to put that on stage. His cause, his cleats, and a big game as well.
They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. On second down, Dobbs. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver who has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Now it's counter, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. He can run for it, and he will. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Okay, with that incompletion, I've been waiting to get this in because I wanted to ask you about that crazy finish in Miami. How in the world did they find their way to the end zone?
That was something, wasn't it? And I've seen a few along the way. In college football, Boise State over Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. You remember that one?
Yep.
With the hook and lateral play, and they had a bunch of crazy plays down the stretch. But this one in the NFL, especially considering you kind of knew they had to do something like this, yet they still were able to pull it off. 69 yards, Tannehill to Stills, to Parker, to Kenyon Drake, and then, of course, Gronk was on the field in case they threw the Hail Mary. Outran Gronk to the end zone. What a finish for the Dolphins.
So last year we had the Minnesota Miracle. Now we had the Miami Miracle this season. Escape. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
it's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That good for 19 and a first down.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Space to run past the 20. Bell, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, 31 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. The give is to Elliott. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Prescott flushed out right. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Here's Dobbs to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Cowboys. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
On first down, Downs to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
Dobbs. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Flex round. Flex round.
Out of the gun, Dobbs. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now Austin. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Here go 46. Switch. 26.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Throwing. Prescott dancing to his left. He gets away from one. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he'd just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Prescott now. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Javon Hargrave able to collapse the pocket and drop it for a loss of a yard. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
Dobbs looking to throw on 1st down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. A give to Bell. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On play action, it's Dobbs. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Come on, let's go. Try 38. Try 38. Flex round. Flex round.
Here's Dobbs to throw. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Tyrone Crawford with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
27.
A second down throw for Prescott, eluding the pressure right. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
We're going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Cody Sensabaugh. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Cooper was the target there.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now Dobbs. And incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And the Steelers on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
What? 90. What? 90. Ohio. 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 Ohio.
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely online. It just needs a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
46.
Here's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Prescott now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Check safety. Get out. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott rolling, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Cody Sensabaugh, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Off the play fake, here's Dobbs. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Flex round. Ohio.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Buying time to this one. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Randy Gregory in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Finding some room at midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's finish now.
On 1st and 10, Prescott out to his left. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On second down, Elliott. And some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Prescott. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jameis Olawale, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. On the return, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll pitch it out to Bell. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. And that has to drive a coach crazy.
Dobbs now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. To throw is Dobbs. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Dobbs now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now Dobbs. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll run it now out of the gun. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
The running game's played a huge part of getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with him.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93, we're waiting to see that number is empirical.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott to throw. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Here's Prescott. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles.
And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And the kick is good, so you wonder how this one might be.